everyone. Welcome to the next matchup in the Final Four of the 2021 Elkhart County Historical Museum Collections Tournament. So far, we've had a great group of matchups throughout the entire tournament, and this one is no different. Today we have the County Home Bricks going up against the trunk of World War I nurse Maude Essig. So before we get to that, though, we have to acknowledge that another one of our staff members has fallen in the tournament. With the victory in the last matchup of Violet Schmidt's autograph book, Michelle Nash, our Curator of Collections, has all 4 of her items kicked out of the tournament. So let's send it down to Michelle to acknowledge her defeat.
Actually, I'm really happy I made it all the way to the Final Four. I'm excited to see Chloe go up against Patrick, or even herself, in the championship. She definitely brought the heat in this whole competition. She's been a strong contender, so I tip my hat to my opponent. One of my favorite things about this whole contest was that all 4 of us independently just picked out 4 items, and then we had a brief meeting to make sure there was no overlap, and there wasn't. We all looking through the collection and finding things that we thought were special, there was not a single thing in the whole 16 that somebody had picked what someone else had picked. So I think that just really shows how cool our collection is and how different people, how you can come at it from different ways. So that's been really fun to share, I think, in this whole contest. Now, personally, in this upcoming matchup, I'd like to see the trunk go forward so that in the championship round, we'll have the battle of the awesome Elkhart County women. You guys will have to vote your conscience, but that's what I'd like to see happen in the final championship round. Of course, you guys are the ones who are going to decide, and I'm excited to see which of the remaining 3 contenders are going to make it to be crowned the 2021 Collections Tournament champion. So get out there and vote. Back to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Michelle. You made a really run deep with those items, but in the end, there can only be one winner, and you weren't it. So we're going to see which staff member reigns supreme at the end of this tournament, which we're getting very close to. So as I said, today's matchup has the County Home Bricks going up against Maude Essig's trunk. Our staff members have 2 minutes to explain the history of these items, tell more of the story, and in the end, you get to vote. So let's send it out to our staff to explain each item. Okay, everyone. Now remember, this is Maude Essig's trunk, which carried all of her clothing, which followed her throughout her entire experience during World War I. And when she arrived in France, she was assigned to Base Hospital 32, and she worked in the surgery building on the 2nd floor. Her first task was to clean the floor and get it ready for patients. It took her 9 days to clean the floor and get it up to the standards that was needed. The first patients she cared for weren't suffering from battle wounds. They were suffering from things related to cold weather, things like frostbite, pneumonia, meningitis, and almost every patient she cared for had what we'd consider today the common cold. She didn't really mention in her diary any soldiers by name except for one. On March 23, 1918, over 82 patients from the front line come to her floor. One of them was named Leo Moquin, who was from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Leo Moquin was carrying a friend from the battlefield when he broke his leg, and he and his friend were both mustard gassed. Maude Essig writes in her diary that his entire body is 1/3 degree burn. He cannot see, he developed pneumonia, and he was delirious. But, according to Maude, he never complained and was asked if he could send a message home. He asked that someone send a message home to his mother that said, "I am just fine. The country is so beautiful. I am enjoying the singing of the birds and the fine people here." And Maude wrote and recollected, "And we who have so much do complain so much." So imagine being mustard gassed and in the pain that you must be suffering. And that's what he writes home to his parents. It's amazing. Moquin was discharged from Base Hospital 32 on June 25th, more than 3 months after. And he goes back to the United States for more treatment from his burns from mustard gas. Now, there's many more stories that we can tell about this trunk, and if we go to the championship, we'll tell these stories, especially the time Maude Essig had to care for German soldiers that were assigned to her at the hospital.
All right, so at this point in the county home's history, we're in 1980, and this is when John Huber, a member of the Elkhart County Parks board proposed that the home be used for historic preservation classes. He formed the Citizens Aiding the County Home Preservation and Restoration Group, otherwise known as Catch PNR. This group distributes ballots to citizens across Elkhart County with the questions posed: do you favor saving the structure as a community center and historic site? Would you help fundraise? Should building be sold or demolished? Now, Marjorie Madlin was sitting in on this meeting with the proposal and said that she would like the question added to the ballot: do you want the county home to be reestablished? And to that, Huber responded, no ma'am, this committee will not address the issue of housing the elderly. Our group is only involved in the question of preservation of the building. If your group wants to pursue it, God bless you and good luck with it. Madlin responds, then you don't want to know what the people want. And to that, Huber said, the case is closed as far as this group is concerned. There will be a definite division between you and myself if we keep this going. So with that, Catch PNR's proposal is submitted and it's approved, and they're granted a lease of the property by the county commissioners. But by 1981, just a year later, the group ends their operations and the commissioners end their lease with the group, which means that the county home will be demolished. So in another heated meeting, after it's established that the county home will be demolished, William Snyder, a citizen of Elkhart County, states that the county home is better built than the county courthouse, and that he invites the commissioners to come jump on the floorboards without hearing one creak. He also compares it to the Golden Dome in terms of its iconic status. Now to this, John Bentley, president of the county commissioners, says, I'd hate to see it torn down, but I can't see any sense continuing to spend money on something we've determined to have no use for. I'm not sure it's one we really want to remember. It's a place where we dump people that didn't have anywhere else to go. And with that, the county home was demolished. Now, if you want to hear more about the county home, vote the bricks into the final round, and I'll tell you more about it.
And there you have it, two really great stories of the Elkhart County home bricks and Maude Essig trunk. One of these items is going to go on to the championship round. So it's getting serious. So I'm sure this is not going to be an easy decision for all of you out there, but hopefully you're watching these videos, you're learning about the history, but in the end you need to choose which one of these is going to go on to the championship round. Will it be the county home bricks? Will it be Maude Essig trunk? The fate of these items are in your hands. So go to our Facebook page and the Elkhart County Parks YouTube page, watch these videos, and vote. Leave a comment on which item you want to see move forward. One of these is going to vie for the Elkhart County Historical Museum Collections Tournament Championship. This is the last matchup of the Final Four, so coming up we're going to have our championship round. So you need to select which one's going to move on. And then after this, we're going to pick one out of the two, which will be the champion of the tournament. So hopefully you're learning a lot. Thank you for watching, and we will see you at the championship match.